Alright, here's lesson 1.4, calculating overtime. So try a couple of these first here. 2 times 8.25, well 2 times 8.25 gives you 16.50, and 1.5 times $11.10 will give you 16.65. Alright, so time and a half is this concept that when you're working more than what the government has said is a normal work day or in a work week, the employer needs to pay you time and a half. So you get your normal wage plus half that wage per hour. So here's a pay stub for Manny. He works in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. His normal income is $9.20 per hour, and he's also paid time and a half for any hours over 40. His time card for 1 week is shown. So I'm just going to highlight a couple things here. And so the total number of hours is 52. So if you add up all of these things here, you'll get 52 hours. Now a normal work week is 40 hours. So to figure out the number of overtime hours, so that's 52 minus 40, gives you 12. So we can figure out what the normal amount that he earns is $9.20. So $9.20 multiplied by the 40 hours. Let me just get back to my blue font here. 40 hours times $9.20 gives you $368. And the overtime rate, well, we need to figure out what that is. So the normal wage is $9.20. Well, we're going to multiply it by 1.5, and that will give us the overtime wage, which is $13.80 per hour. So how many overtime hours were there? Well, if we look back on the chart, there's 12. So the number of overtime hours is 12. We're multiplying it by our new overtime wage of $13.80. And if you multiply those two, you'll get $165.60. And what's the gross income? Well, it's $368 plus $165.60, and that gives you a total of $533.60. Here's another one. Astrid works in the oil and gas industry near Fort McMurray. She earns $28.30 per hour and makes double time for hours worked beyond 40 each week. Calculate her gross income for 45.25 hours worked last week. Well, double time is the hourly wage multiplied by 2. So in some instances, like when you work on a stat holiday, you might get paid double time. So let's calculate the gross income. Well, the first thing we need to figure out is the normal income. All right. So 40 hours. What was her normal wage? Let's get my blue pen here. The normal wage was $28.30. So if we multiply that by our 40 hours, we'll get $11.32. And now we need to calculate the overtime. So, what's the hourly wage for overtime? Well, our normal one is $28.30, and she's getting paid double time, so we multiply that by 2. Excuse me. And her overtime wage is $56.60. It's a pretty good hourly wage for overtime. So her overtime hours would be is the 45.25 minus 40 hours, which gives us 5.25 hours. So the 5.25 hours multiplied by the overtime wage will give us $297.15. So the gross income for the week will be that $11.32 plus the 297.15. So a total of 1429.15. So some important things to remember about this. Time and a half, you multiply the hourly wage by 1.5. Double time, you multiply it by 2. So here's some practice questions about Darcy. So you need to fill out the number of hours worked. So to do that, you would take 11, I'll do the first row for you here. You take 11:30, you subtract 7, so there's a 4 hours of work between those 2 hours, and then 12 to 3:30, that's another 3.5 hours. Okay, so a total of 7.5 or 7.5. And the other ones you need to figure out how many hours worked. So this is roughly 7 a.m. This is roughly 11:30. So you can figure out how many hours between those two. Add them up and then figure out what the his gross income worked. So remember, he gets time and a half for hours over 40. So you multiply by 1.5.